Welcome to Vibe It Up, multiple streams of alternative wellness. We have a very special show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. This show is all about making awareness for all the different types of natural remedies that are out there so that you have all kinds of choices when something comes up. So our guest today, every week we have a different guest, is Elaine Sugar. She is a mental wellness advocate, and she's the founder of a nonprofit organization called MAPS. MAPS, the global events, mental wellness affirmations, positivity support, global events. It has a dual mission to host mental wellness events, activities that enlighten the public while promoting small business owners. She has a passion for teaching children the value of positive thinking and speaking. It's the foundation for her company, Kids More Sugar, SUGAR, saying unforgettable good affirmations regularly. She's an award winning children's self esteem program facilitator and children's book author. She has over 24 years of financial industry experience and 15 years of direct leadership and coaching experience. And she's a top achiever in managing Treasury Services portfolios of commercial and corporate banking clients with revenues $20 million to $1 billion. She also has a degree, Bachelor of Arts in Communication from the University of North Florida. So please welcome my guest today, Elaine Sugar. Hi, Elaine.
Hello, it is so wonderful to be here with you, Lexis.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to have you. We got to get whatever that noise is in the background. I have a feeling it's on my side here. I've got a mechanic next door, and he hasn't got a clue when I say I'm recording. But we are live today. We are live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, and live on Roku, or sorry, on E360. And we'll be syndicated to Roku and Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Apple Android. So many, I can't even remember them all. Okay, Elaine, we are here today promoting an event that you have every year in September, and it is called MAPS Global Events. Can you tell us a little bit about what MAPS is?
Sure. So, MAPS is a nonprofit organization, it's a 501c3, and it started as a result of the pandemic. So, I
Mhm.
was hearing a lot about adults struggling, children struggling, not going to school, being with their friends. And it was really like for a lot of people, I think we had a lot of empathy for each other. And at the same time, I was networking and I was meeting these very positive, powerful practitioners from all different types of modalities that help people with wellness. And so I kept hearing this outcry that people were struggling, and I felt like, well, wow, I know people who can help with this. And I just felt like the two groups needed to come together. And so that's what we did. All these very generous, more than 200 wellness practitioners came together when we put on this 7-day event, free to the public, open. People can come and go as they can, just receive information and a plethora of different ways that they can heal, that they can function. And we just covered a wide variety of topics, everything you would expect from stress management to depression to goal setting, mindsets, relaxation, yoga, meditation, energy healing, sound healing, just financial experts, because sometimes you could be physically healthy, but if you're under financial strain, that impacts your wellness. So, parenting, just whatever it is you can think of, a very holistic approach. And these experts were just generous with their time and their talent and answered the call to what we were hearing. And that's what the event is about. It's about people coming together to help the world heal.
That is so amazing and so generous of you. I know how much work it is because I have my own alliance, the Wellness Practitioners Alliance, and I know how much work this is. And for you to be doing this, you're a year ahead of me because you actually had one in 2021, right in the pandemic, right? How
Yes.
did that one go? Was that
You
kind of
know
just
what?
or a huge success?
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing because we were so new. We had a lot of people who stepped up who didn't know us. We were not a nonprofit that had been around for years and years, and people knew the name. So we
Mm,
just had people that bonded with us, connected with the vision, and said, I will help. We wanted to open with a music concert. Nobody on my board knew how to host a music concert, but music is so important and it's such a healer and it's such an uplifter. And we wanted to start out uplifting people. And we actually had producers and rock and roll bands just volunteer to help us with it. So it really was a global community coming together because there are people from all around the world involved in it. And the nonprofit is MAPS Global Event. The name of the actual event is the Global Wellness and Positivity Experience.
So I didn't say that part, did I?
No, that's okay. That's why there's two of us here.
For sure, for sure. Yes, but there's more than two of you. For my goodness sakes, you have an entire team, and the
Yeah,
original group of people that were on the team are real connectors because that's how you found me. Because
yes.
one of your are they board of directors or like how did that come about? How did you even find those people? Because that's such an amazing collection of people.
You know what happened? I would just go to networking events and I started to share the vision. I don't know who it was that first stated this quote, but I love it. It says, tell everyone what you want to do, and someone will help you do it. And that is exactly what I did. I would go to these networking events and I would say, listen, here's what I want to do. I want to pull together experts so that they can provide value and help the world through this time. And
Mhm.
that's what I would share. And people would identify with that and say, you know what, that's what we should be doing right now. Because these are people who are passionate and they've studied. They've already thought about when people are having trauma, when people are having loss, when people are stressed, people are lonely, all these different things. So why not bring them together with the people who are in need? And that's what we did. So it just
That's
came from
amazing.
networking and sharing the vision. And this person would say, oh, I'm interested. And I also think you should talk to this person. And that's how you build that network.
Yeah, for sure. A lot, but your original group of people were all connectors,
You
right? Your
know, I was actually going to a lot of networking meetings. So, for instance, John Donnelly is one of those people
right.
that was key in connecting me with people. He
Well,
has a
that's how you got
networking
me.
meeting. Yes, he has a networking meeting. He runs Your Holistic Academy. So, he's already someone that connects people around the world in the name of wellness. So, it was a natural fit. So that's why I tell people when you go to these networking events, I understand why people want you to practice your elevator pitch, but you
Yeah,
need to make sure that you're being authentic to yourself
sure.
because you want people to hear it and it might resonate with them. And if you're not being honest when you introduce yourself or tell what your passion is, then you're going to miss connecting with those people that would resonate with. So even if you don't have the perfect pitch, I say just be authentic and
Just all,
tell what your vision is.
and that's
There's
exactly
somebody
right.
that would identify with.
But all of the people in your group feel like they're soul brothers and sisters, like we're sisters and brothers in spirit, that we were all cut from the same cloth and we all came down to earth at this particular time just to bring this all together. Because as we all started meeting, it was just like the
Yes.
crossovers and the synergy between all of us was so unbelievable. It's such an
That's
amazing thing to be
And
part of this.
that's because we all showed up as ourselves. You said some things in your introduction that
Hmm.
made John Donnelly say, oh, wait a minute, I know someone else who would
Hmm.
identify with this. There would be some synergy here. So if
Hmm.
you had pretended to be somebody else with John, or you had talked about something other than what your mission is, he would have probably connected you with someone else. So
Hmm.
when you hear that connection, you're like, wait a minute, this
Yeah,
person kind of has the voice of this person, or this person sounds like they should be in this group. That's the beauty of having a tribe. When you can't look out for yourself, you have people working for you even when you're not there, and that's the good thing about a tribe. You know,
exactly. Exactly. And that's the funny thing you say that, because I'm putting an app together so that I can help bring all of them. I have various different businesses, and they're all similar, different perspectives of looking at the same thing, which is healing. It's all about different kinds of healing. And so
Very
everyone has said to me for the past 20 years, why are you jumping around? You were doing this and now you're doing that. Why, they have nothing to do with each other. Excuse me, but I have the exact same ideal avatar, and they're all interested in all these same things, and they're just coming in at it from a different perspective. And now I've got this app that I'm putting together, and it's called Soul Tribeology. So the tribe is
wow.
right there in it. So it just amazes me every time I talk to you, Elaine. The crossovers between us are just like crazy incredible. So we're going to take a little commercial break. Every time we take a commercial break, we have another gift for our audience. One graciously given to us by Elaine. We're promoting her summit that takes place every year, and a couple for myself and some other people that have been on our show. So grab your phones, turn your cameras on, and be prepared to scan the QR code so you can get our beautiful gift. We'll be right back. And we're back with our wonderful guest, Elaine Sugar. And I hope you liked your commercial. These little
Beautiful.
together. You love that? Yeah. That's
Yes.
Arnold, one of our teammates. I have a dozen people working for me, and Arnold's in charge of that particular type of video, creating these amazing commercials. And I don't know how he does it. And I complain every day, oh, we have a deadline. We've got to get it done faster, better, bigger. And somehow he manages to do it. So more
Thank
power to
you,
him.
Arnold. I love it.
So we were talking about how there's so many crossovers and how much synergy there is between all of us. And for example, when John Donnelly and I were talking, John Donnelly runs an academy online. He teaches people about wellness online. And I have one, mine's Holistica Institute Higher Ascension. And I have people who come to my classes there, get trained at a university level for energy work and wellness, and for the light worker, which is energy work practitioners. And it's a double board certified program that I've had running since 2003. And when John came to me, I had no idea what we were going to be talking about, because you'd think we'd be competition because we both have wellness schools, right? But we just hit it off right away, and we got talking, and the next thing we know, your name comes up, and he says, Lexis, I just got to introduce you to Elaine. This is this amazing, magnanimous person. You have to meet her. And then I meet you, and you're like, oh, John told me so many amazing, wonderful things about you, Lexis. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my ears must have been burning. So yeah, that's how we kind of got connected. But then after we started talking and you introduced me to some of the other people, the crossover is just unbelievable. How little pieces that I'm an expert at this, but I'm weak over here. And then I meet this person who's excellent at this and weak over there. And it goes around the circle until it all fits. It's just
Yes.
like cogs in a wheel.
I love it.
So can you tell me, I understand that this coronavirus pandemic and lockdowns is what really got you going to this. But I have a feeling that way before the pandemic, things happened in your life that brought you to this conclusion. Would you share with our audience what some of those things might have been?
Sure. So I can think of several things that really made me very empathetic to wellness, to people being in situations where they need support. And one of them, early on in my life, I was probably a teenager. Maybe I was about 16 or 15. And there was someone that I knew who had drug problems. And we had
Oh,
watched them decline over time. And it was really sad to watch. But there was one night that the person came to our doorstep and said, "You know what? I need help."
Oh.
And it was such a relief. I was so excited. I'm like, oh, this person finally gets it. They know they need help, and now they can start to turn their life around. And so we invited the person in, got our phone books out, and we started just calling the different places that would help you if you have drug problems. And we started to realize, like, wow, you need money for
Mm,
this. Like, we don't have the money to pay to put you in some of these nice drug drug rehabilitation programs.
no.
And so it was really sad to me. And we ended up taking them to a place that said they could stay there for 3 days.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, wow, I don't think this is going to be enough, but I'm praying. And the person came back out, and the same situation occurred again. Ended up going, spending some time in prison, and got clean in prison, and is now, out of that situation. But that was one point at a young age. I was like, wow, because when I was in school, they taught us say no to drugs, just say no. And if you get into a situation, then just ask for help. And I thought it was just all you had to do was just ask for help. And so I learned that there was a little bit more to it. And so that really hurt me, and I remember that feeling. And
Mhm.
then my grandmother was schizophrenic, and
Ooh.
yeah, she had to move into a facility because she got to where she needed 24-hour care. And I just remember her moving from place to place because it was difficult for my mother to find a place that would take good care of her for the money that we had. And so I just remember going to visit her and feeling sad, like, I wish she had a better place to live than this. So again, that's another one of those situations that really just tugged at my heartstrings. And then my mother eventually was diagnosed with dementia, and
Yeah.
I was her primary decision maker in her life. And so as not to take her freedom away too soon, I started, taking it step by step, giving her more assistance. So there was a point where I had someone come to the house and help her out. Then there was a point where I had to move her to assisted living, and then there was a point to move her to a nursing home where she was in a Alzheimer's unit where, they understood the attention that she needed. So I know what it feels like to see someone who needs support, and know the challenges that you face when you're trying to get there. And then I also understand that what works for one person or what makes one person feel better is not necessarily what the other person needs or wants. So it was really important to me to have a wide variety of solutions to be offered during this event. So some people say, well, why 7 days? Why such a big event? And that had a lot to do with it. I just wanted people to, one, receive so much value. And I also wanted to, at the same time, coming out of a lockdown and a pandemic, just support the people who do this work because their finances were impacted. And we need these people who are passionate about helping us heal to continue doing the important work that they do. So I thought it was a win-win situation. So I always wanted it to be multiple days so we could bring on as many experts as we could. I think you're still muted.
Sorry, I muted it because I heard some crazy noise on the line, and I thought it might have been
Yeah.
on my so is the one that's coming up this fall, is that going to be 7 days as well? Is it
That is
always?
7 days. Yeah. It was 7 days last year, 7 days this year. And we are
So what
start off with the
what are
music
we
concert.
gonna do next year? Because, the bigger you grow, the more people we're gonna try to pack in here. You're gonna need a couple of weeks, girl.
It's starting to happen. So I have people who right now are on a waiting list. So it is starting to happen. This time last year, I probably had about 50% of the presentation slots booked, and I was still talking to people and explaining the vision. And this year, it's like, I don't have any more room. Like, we already have presentations for every day. So we have a little wait list now, and sometimes things happen where people may not be able to participate. But for right now, the week is full.
Well, I suggest you add a couple more days on and let's get those people in there.
Listen to her. Well, we will have you and Vibe It Up TV come in and host those days and
Well, that's
pull
a
up with that
possibility.
together.
It's a possibility. Maybe that could happen. You get a couple of us out there and you could make it happen, right?
Yeah, yeah. It
Mhm.
is exciting that there are a lot of people. Last year, so we were out explaining and requesting. And this year we have people come and say, hey, can I speak at your event? Hey, I want to speak at your event. You know, these are some of these people speak at Tony Robbins events. You know, some of these people, yeah, work with Mind Valley. I'm like, really? You want to come to our event? Yes.
Oh my. That's amazing. That's really good to hear though.
It is really exciting. And I have to tell you, if people are familiar with the EFT expert, Brad Yates, if you
Mhm.
don't know him, you should Google him. Brad Yates, last year, us being this new nonprofit organization, hosting a 7-day event for the first time, he was supportive from the moment he heard about the vision. He showed up last year, he helped us promote, he gave an excellent presentation.
Oh, that's
I mean,
wonderful.
oh my gosh, he is so generous and so talented. So, and there are just people like that, that even though this can be really exhausting, right? Putting something like this together, you meet people like Brad Yates and you just get an extra burst of energy. It's
Mhm.
amazing. He's one of those people that was just very supportive from the beginning. And even this year, he's scheduled to be out of the country during that week. So he's like, Elaine, I don't know what day I will be available yet, but I'm going to stay in contact with you because I want to be a part. But I just have to figure out where I'm going to be in the world. And so
Yeah.
he's still in contact, and now we have him scheduled. And it's people like that. It's just
Yeah.
fantastic when people come together with positive energy.
Exactly. Well, what we went through the last several years with the pandemic was crazy. I mean, there was no prep time. Nobody knew it was coming, or at least the public didn't know it was coming. And for it, like it just suddenly happened, and all of a sudden we were shut down and couldn't do things. There was no preparation. And I know for myself, I live by myself. I have a dog now, and I had a dog several years ago. But when that dog died, I needed time to heal before I got another dog because I'm very close to my dog. So I went through the whole pandemic all by myself. And a lot of people did. And a lot of people ended up with anxiety problems and taking medication for it because they
Yeah,
just, they're people. Human
yeah,
beings are people, and we need each other. And it was so very difficult for us that now that we understand about the online world, and thank goodness there's things like Zoom, now
yes,
people can connect. So I think we're a little bit better prepared for if something should happen again,
I agree.
right?
Yes,
But
I agree.
the message that you and I both support is that there are other choices out there, that there's lots and lots of choices and things that we can be,
Yes,
and
yes,
not just for physical health, but for mental health, for emotional sanity, just to keep us
yes,
connected with each other. Because what you advocate is more about the mental wellness, correct?
yes. Yeah, and actually, we started out with the focus on mental wellness, but really learned quickly that it was a holistic approach that the world needed. So we have a
Exactly.
very holistic approach now.
That's very good. Yeah, mine too. When I
Yes.
started this, I had a lot of health problems when I was a kid. And when you talked about dementia a few minutes ago, my mom died in her 90s and she was healthy her entire life. Never got much more than a sniffle. And I don't know, when she got older, she had, after I was born, she needed thyroid medication to boost her thyroid. And
Wow.
she was just taking natural medication. And then in her 90s, her doctor passed away, and she went to a new doctor who was very, very young, and he had all these new young ideas, and something got mixed up, and he put her on some type of medication, and she was so sick. And whatever happened, it affected her heart because the thyroid works with your heart. It speeds up or slows down your heart. And it sped up her heart and it caused some damage. And the new doctor, when she finally complained and went to him, the new doctor said, "Oh my goodness, you're on medication a 19-year-old should take, and you're in your 90s, right? We got to cut this out." And they got her on the right medication, but the harm had been done. So now she started taking heart medication. And the minute she got on heart medication, she started losing her memory and being forgetful and telling the same stories over and over. And they
Yeah.
called it dementia. I want to tell you something. When she finally passed away, she was in the hospital for over a week. And she waited for all of her family to come to be with her so she could pass away with her whole family there. They took her off all her meds except for the painkiller because laying in bed, you get bed sores, right? So they
Mhm.
only had her on a little bit of morphine, and everything else she was off of, her dementia disappeared. She became
Yes.
completely lucid and completely clear and knew what was going on. And, she felt bad for us that we were losing her. She felt bad for us. She said every single day she's learning something new. And today she was going to learn about passing over every
Wow.
single day.
That is
So,
awesome. And
yeah, that
what,
means so much.
medication, there is medication that can cause dementia. And that was one of the things we tested. I actually had the doctor take my mother off for a certain period of time, off to see if we would see a difference. So that is true. That is correct. In some cases, that is it. It's just medicine. Wasn't the
There you
case with my mom. We tested it, but it is for some people. So that's beautiful.
Okay, well, this is a good point for a little bit of a break. We're going to try to figure out what that crazy noise is that keeps coming back in. I don't know if it's my computer or out in the environment or where it is, but we're going to ask you to grab your phones again because we have a little commercial with another gift for you. So put your cameras on and scan the QR code in the commercial, and we'll be right back with Elaine Sugar. And back. We're back with Elaine Sugar. And what was the name of the organization again? Because I keep saying the wrong thing. So I'm going to let you say it.
The name of the organization is MAPS Global Events.
And
Okay.
MAP stands for
And mental wellness hyphenated, affirmations and positivity support.
interesting. So how do you break down all the sections? Like, do you have different groups that fit into each one of those arenas?
It's not really that linear, but basically it was more so about the overall mission. And part of that was I've taken a lot of personal development over the years. I know a lot of people have. And sometimes you start out on a journey after you go to an event or you read a book or you watch an inspirational video or something. So you start out on this mission, and then somewhere along the way, you kind of lose track. And then the next thing you know, that book is just on the shelf, or that program you bought is in the file. So I also thought about, as part of this mission, let's offer some solutions, but let's also stick with people over time. Like, let's build a community and go on this wellness journey forever, so you have that support. And then I also wanted people to understand that your mindset plays a big part in how your life turns
Huge.
out. And that positivity And getting that part of it right is just as important as the emotional and the physical and the mental. So that's the reason why we have the wellness and the positivity, and then the support is about doing this in a way that people can sustain it over time.
Yeah, well, just the fact that you tell the stories of how you created the program and people all came together is the attraction factor. It is you being positive and expecting the world to come to you, and it does. And that's
Yes, I
a good
agree.
lesson for the world. So, can you tell us a little bit more about how the event functions? Because I know that your gift is the ticket to come to visit the Global Wellness and Positivity Experience. What will people get when they get there? What can they expect?
What you can expect is to start off with a pre concert show. We have some brave souls that are going to tell you about some challenges in their lives. They're going to open up, they're going to be vulnerable, and they're going to let you know that they struggled, but they're also going to let you know that they've worked through those things, and they're going to talk to you about what helped them and how they've arrived at a better place. So just know that you're going to start out hearing some powerful stories. And then you're going to go into some really uplifting, inspiring music. It's a music concert, it's global, so we'll get different performances from around the world. We have a lot of fun when we're hosting it. Those who saw the concert last year know that there was a lot of laughing. I co host this with a lady who I call my sister, Lisa Bien. She's a local talk show host here. And, that's just an example of people who are gracious enough. I've never hosted a show before, but we had this lady who's an experienced TV talk show host say, "All right, I'll host it with you." We met during the pandemic and we never saw each other in person until the day we showed up to host the show. So she's coming back to host the show with you this year. Yes, we had such a blast, and it was the first time we ever saw each other in person, and we met during the pandemic. And so that's how it happened. So just know that's what your experience is going to be like the first day. Monday, which is September 12th. So that's what happens on September 11th. September 12th, you're going to have experts from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that are going to pour into you. All these different experts from all these modalities, they're going to share with you information that some of them get paid tens of thousands of dollars to share. They are going to pour into you as a gift. This entire 7 day event, including an opening concert, all free. So there's no reason why you should not come and receive this gift. And every day, Monday through Friday, that's basically what you're going to experience. But just know that there will be an hour where we pause the presentations and we open up the Zoom room and we have a networking session. That's going to be every day that week from Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anybody in the world can come into this Zoom room, and the experts will be right there, and we'll just all meet each other and network. Just get to know each other. That connectivity that you were talking about, that we've learned how to make over Zoom, that's what we're going to do every day between 1 and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then in the evening, you're going to have, there's some days where we throw in some interesting things that you might not expect at a wellness event. We are going to have a mind DJ. So you have DJs who play dance music. This is someone that is going to play music that's going to give you a wonderful experience with your mind. It is beautiful. I feel like giddy that we even have this lady at our event. And again, she goes and she does this on world stages for expert presenters. And she's coming and you get that gift for free. So we also have the wonderful Lexis Johnson, who's going to do some astrology readings live, right? How often do you hear of that at a wellness event? And we know all of, yes, that's right. So you'll see when we promote this, I tell people this is no ordinary event. This is not an ordinary event. So if you think like, oh, this is another wellness event, you are sadly mistaken. We do a unifying 7 day challenge. While this is all taking place, we are all going to be introduced to a tool. It's like a digital vision board. I'm going to give you free access to it one day, already scientifically proven that you watching this in as little as 3 minutes a day has a positive impact on your brain for 6 to 8 hours.
Girlfriend, you got to hook me up early. I can't wait till September.
I'm so
I
excited
know, right?
about it. So that's what I experience as a person spearheading this. I feel so exhausted sometimes because there's a lot of meetings, there are a lot of things you have to do. And then I meet someone like Lexis who says, oh, I can do readings live at your event, and comes with all these certifications and all of this experience. And then a mind DJ. And we're going to have a mental health comedian. Who's ever
Oh,
heard of such a thing?
that's too
So
funny.
it's just the coolest stuff that we have, and that's just a little bit of it. So we have a lot of things intermingled here. And then one of my favorite things about this, we did it last year, we're doing it a little bit bigger this year. On Saturday, we run dual Zoom rooms. We have some play happening in one Zoom room, and we invite children to come on and play with us online in the Zoom room. We play emotional intelligence games. We have them get some lessons from some experts. That we have a beauty pageant winner who's going to talk to the teenagers about etiquette. We have an ex model who teaches children how to power pose. It is
That's
so much
unbelievable.
fun. It is so much fun. And last year, I have to tell you that the children inspired something that we're doing this year. We did not have it on the agenda last year, but some of the children had their instruments and they wanted to play. It wasn't part of the plan, and we were like, okay, let's take turns. You play the piano now, and somebody else wanted to play the drums, and somebody else had a guitar. So we had a little impromptu kiddie concert, and I was like, what a great idea. So this year we are planning. It's going to be very casual. Nobody has to put on a bow tie, but we're going to have a kiddie casual concert. And that was
You
inspired by the
have
children
to
that
get a
showed up.
musical conductor and have a whole symphony of kids playing.
Yes. It was so much fun. And then another thing we didn't expect, some children wanted to bring their pets on the screen. So sure. So this year we will have show and tell. You can choose to bring your pets on the screen if you like to. We met about 5 or 6 different pets. So it's just it was a lot of fun. Now in the adult room we have adult presentations going, but we also encourage the adults. It's healthy for us to play like children. So trust me, throughout the day we had adults coming in from the adult room, and they played with us and the children. They were laughing. One of our presenters, believe this or not, was a 6-year-old motivational speaker.
Oh my goodness.
6 years old, Lexis, and she travels around and she gives other children motivational speeches. She
How,
was adorable.
oh my goodness. It makes
Yeah.
my heart.
Yes. So we are calling that room an adult and child playroom because it's important for us to play. We need to play too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's a very good lesson for me. I'm a
yeah,
very serious person, but I have 7 children. So, and 3 grandchildren. So I completely understand the concept. They keep,
yes,
they drive you crazy, but they keep you young.
that's right. And so it's a lot of fun, this event. It's powerful, it's impactful. I mean, and these are people who've studied and they really give focus to the time that they have to present to you, and they ask me questions. Is there something I can do to make sure I'm the most helpful? I give people whatever you think we most need added. It is so encouraging. Like egos are aside, and it's like, what can I do to help make this what we need it to be for the world? right? And
Exactly.
that's it is a beautiful thing. So I tell people, because this event is so large and there's so many different time zones involved when you're global,
Yeah.
until there's some people that will not meet each other ever, and they were all a part of the same event. So I keep trying to tell people, you are a part of such a positive, powerful community of people. So that's why I love it when people can make it to the networking meetings, because then you would get to see for yourself. Like you came to a meeting and you saw like, wow, this whole team is like amazing. So that's what I have that bottled up inside. So I try to explain to people like, no, this community is amazing. It really is. I know I'm part of it. So people might think I would naturally say this. I'm telling you, amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Well, on that note, we're going to have to show your gift again. I hope the next commercial up is your commercial. People, get your phones out, turn your cameras on, and scan for the QR code that's coming up right about now. And we'll be back in a minute with Elaine Sugar telling us more. And we're back with Elaine Sugar and MAPS Global Events. Elaine, you talked about the children. I want you to talk a little bit more about them. What is Sugar? Because I know that's your last name, but it's such a great acronym. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It is my pleasure. So I love this. I will tell you that the inspiration for this came from Dr. Bruce Lipton. Dr.
Oh, really?
Bruce Lipton, yes, absolutely. So during the pandemic, so let me take a step back.
Sure.
Earlier in my career, I used to volunteer and I used to teach children self esteem building programs, like you read in my bio.
Okay.
And back then, I did, and I taught them what I knew, right? All this passion and all this love that I have for children, and just wanted to see them grow. And we did some wonderful things. During the pandemic, I was hearing about children struggling. So I said, you know what? I'll start an online children's program. I call
Oh,
this online monthly call. I have a Papa Positivity call. And I said, I'll do this thing. But I started studying and I started reading and watching videos of Dr. Bruce Lipton. And I read his book, The Biology of Belief. And it breaks down for you how 95% of the messages that children receive about themselves are negative. That is the most heartbreaking thing. 95% of the messages kids receive about themselves are negative. And so we have to reprogram them. We either have to properly program them or reprogram them, because there's a lot of negativity being programmed into their subconscious. And so when I understood the power of affirmations and positive thinking, I said, wow, I'm just learning this now. And I didn't know this before when I worked with children. So
mm,
I said, we've really underutilized this information. It should be taught in schools. Families should be teaching it at home. And so the name of my company is Kids More Sugar. And that's a company where I write children's coloring storybooks, and they all have an affirmation that run through them. So I use the name Sugar to honor my parents, but it also is an acronym in my company's name. So Kids More Sugar. Sugar stands for saying unforgettable, good affirmations regularly. And so if we can teach children to do that, it can change the trajectory of their lives. And so that's why I say kids need more sugar.
Yeah, well, adults need more sugar too. We can all use more positive
That
affirmations.
is so true. That is so true. And I had this company before the nonprofit. I had this company, Kids More Sugar. And that's how I was meeting a lot of wellness experts because I was just getting the word out about, the positivity club that I have. And that's where I was meeting a lot of them. But they would ask me that. They would say, "Well, what are you doing for the adults?" Because if you just teach the children, it's difficult for them to sustain what you're teaching them if the rest of the family doesn't know. So now we have this nonprofit that serves the whole family. Everybody has a spot. And I forgot to mention on Saturday of the event, there's a teen mini summit. So sometimes some of our teenagers feel like they need to be a little separated from some of the smaller children. So we have a couple of hours where we have a teen program and a teen youth mini summit that will do some things for the, make sure we do some things for the older children. You are on mute. I know you're trying to spare us from your background noise.
Not my background noise. It's something in the network somehow because
Oh, okay.
I know every neighbor, I've made them promise I would strangle them if they made noise during this hour. So it's not in my realm of help. And I just sent a message through to the chat to asking 360 if there's anything we could do. And they said go incognito. But when I hit the incognito button, it takes me to a whole new screen, not this one. So I can't really
That's
do
all
it.
right. We are troopers. We are going to make it through.
We will. Oh no, that's not a big deal. I just keep muting myself so that you can talk. But what I was going to say is that you said teenagers need a little bit of time away from the little ones. No, they think they always need time away from everybody but the teenagers. They need their whole little world for themselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun and we have some things that will be really helpful for teenagers too on a little bit more of a serious note. One of the things we're doing because of the rise in teen suicide is we're having an expert, Jackie Simmons, come in and teach the teens the talks that save lives. There's actually a methodology that they've researched and it can help you because a lot of times a lot of people don't find out about someone being suicidal until there's an attempt or a suicide, and that's too late. So it's interesting. Jackie has this approach that suicide prevention should be fun. Make it fun so it's something that we talk about and get involved in proactively and not reacting. Because if you're reacting, that's not the best place. We want to come from a proactive place
Exactly.
dealing with something like this. So they're going to really learn some valuable things. We have some fun things for them too, but I definitely want them to have the experience with the Teen Suicide Prevention Society and understand how this talk works.
Yeah, well, I've known Jackie Simmons for a couple of years now. I met her when I started building an app, and I believe I told you about her. I don't know if that's why you connected with her, but I've been telling all kinds of people that have anything to do with the teens or suicide to connect with Jackie because she's got amazing platform. Yeah,
Yes, she
amazing platform.
does.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, I do want to talk a little bit more about how others can support you with the MAPS global events. I've got a couple more questions, but that one for sure I want to get to. How can
Yes.
others support you?
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit. We don't charge anything for the events. We do have expenses. So if someone is able to give a donation, that's appreciated. You can go to our website and even a dollar helps, everything helps. So donations are definitely appreciated. Also, we have a 7-day event that we're promoting from now up through the event. So if you're a sponsor or you're someone that has a product or service and you want to get that in front of wellness experts or people that are interested in their wellness, we have sponsor packages that you can purchase, and that would be a win-win. It would support us and the event, but it would also get your product or service out there. So we have some sponsor packages that you can use. And then also, if you know influencers, if you are an influencer and you want to come and support and be a part of this so that you can help us get the word out, it's about helping the world. And so, who doesn't want to be a part of that? So, those are all things. People who will let us on their podcasts and TV shows and radio shows. If you have contacts in the media, it helps because what's being given is a beautiful gift, and it's sad if people don't know about it, because this is stuff that people need, this is stuff that people want, but we only have so many outlets, so more outlets can promote this. Those are all things people can do to help. And then we're doing this for the world. So if you do none of those things I just mentioned, and you go to vibrantlivingsummit.com and you register free and come and show up when you can, that in and of itself is a gift. Oh, you're muted.
We're going to go to another commercial because I want to make sure this gets represented properly. And then we'll be back with Elaine Sugar. And we're back with Elaine Sugar. And so that was a commercial from Dr. Doug Lair, who will be on our Thursday show where we talk about how to build our business. And just to go back to what Elaine was talking about with the MAPS Global events and how you can support, one of the ways I'm supporting is in having Elaine on our show, but I'm also gifting to Elaine to however she wants to raffle off one of our TV shows that is worth a $5,000 package. So all of you, you need to get a ticket because being on these TV shows, they're syndicated to 6 million people, 800,000 to a million people per week per show. And if you have anything to promote at all, especially online programs, which is my specialty here, and the wellness realm, we do definitely want you and sign up, get in and get your ticket for the raffle and win a prize, maybe more than one. Okay, so we've just got a couple of minutes more here. You've already told us how people can register and how they connect. Or do you have any more final last words? Because they can always go to the QR code. We are live on LinkedIn Live and Facebook Live and YouTube. So you can always go back into those and see where the QR codes are. Have you got any more final words for us?
Yes, I would also say going and registering for the event gets you free access to the whole 7 days. We also, as MAPS Global Events, have a website, mapsglobalevents.com. There it takes you 90 seconds to sign up for a free membership. You sign up for that membership and it automatically routes you to our wellness library. It's over 200 videos there from experts from last year. That is a free gift. Go there, take your time every now and then, go in, look at it, but you get access to that wellness library.
And you don't have to remember that website because you just have to go to the QR code. So if you go to the Facebook page for this TV show, or you go to the LinkedIn Live page for this TV show, or you just go to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, I'm Lexis Johnson, and find the QR code for today's show, you will be able to get all access to all of those events. And if you want to sponsor, you can go through those same links to get to Elaine Sugar. So this is it for our show this week. We will try to have Elaine back another day, I'm sure, before the event in September. You can rewatch this show on Roku or Apple TV or all the ones that are listed on the bottom of the ad. So I hope we'll have you back again very much so enjoyed having you today, Elaine. You are truly my sister from another dimension. Absolutely another dimension. So thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you all again soon.